The pristine glass doors of the Grand Marina Hotel gleam under the warm Miami sun. The palatial building stretches toward the clear blue sky, its white exterior reflecting the light like a beacon of luxury. Palm trees sway gently in the breeze, their shadows dancing across the marble entrance. Jessica Reynolds adjusts her simple cotton t-shirt and jeans as she steps out of her understated Honda Civic. At 34, she's already revolutionized 3 failing hotels across the country, turning them into profitable havens of hospitality. But today, she's not wearing her usual tailored suits or designer dresses. The casual outfit is deliberate, a test she's conducted at every property she's acquired. The Grand Marina is her latest purchase, a $28 million acquisition she completed just a week ago. But none of the staff know about their new owner yet. As Jessica walks through the entrance, she takes in every detail with her keen entrepreneur's eye: the slightly worn carpet near the check-in desk, the outdated light fixtures, the water stains on the ceiling, all things that will soon change under her leadership. Behind the front desk, Patricia Waters, the 45-year-old front desk manager, immediately stiffens. Her perfectly manicured nails pause over the keyboard as she watches Jessica through narrowed eyes. Patricia leans over to whisper to her colleague, "Keep an eye on that one. She doesn't fit our usual clientele." Jessica pretends not to notice, maintaining her composed demeanor as she walks through the lobby, occasionally stopping to take photos with her phone. She's documenting areas that need improvement, but to prejudiced eyes, her actions appear suspicious. Richard Thompson, the hotel's head of security, emerges from his office. At 52, he carries himself with an air of self-importance that comes from 2 decades of working in luxury establishments. His steel-gray hair and pressed uniform project authority, but his eyes reveal an ugliness as they follow Jessica's every move. "Ma'am," he calls out, his voice carrying across the marble floor. Photography isn't permitted in the hotel without proper authorization. Jessica turns, offering a polite smile. "I'm just admiring the architecture," she responds smoothly, having dealt with similar situations before. "It's quite impressive, though some areas could use updating." Richard's jaw tightens at her critique. He moves closer, hand resting deliberately on his radio. "Are you a guest here?" "Not exactly," Jessica answers truthfully, watching his expression darken. Patricia seizes this moment to approach, her heels clicking against the floor like an approaching storm. "Then I'm afraid we'll have to ask you to leave. This is a private establishment, and we reserve the right to refuse entry to certain individuals." The implications in Patricia's tone are clear as glass. Jessica notes how other guests, all white, all dressed similarly casually, are taking photos without any interference. She also notices young Thomas Wright, the 63-year-old hotel manager, watching from the second-floor balcony, making no move to intervene despite the clear discrimination unfolding below. "I'm actually quite interested in the property," Jessica continues, maintaining her professional tone. "The architectural details are fascinating. That coffered ceiling must be original to the building." Richard steps closer, invading her personal space. "Ma'am, if you don't leave immediately, we'll be forced to call the authorities. We've had incidents recently." "Incidents?" Jessica raises an eyebrow, encouraging him to elaborate. Patricia jumps in, her voice dripping with false concern. "Yes, several of our wealthy guests have reported missing items. We simply can't be too careful these days." She gives Jessica's casual attire a pointed once-over. Jessica pulls out her phone again, this time to check her emails. Richard immediately reaches for his radio, but she ignores him, reading aloud. "The Grand Marina Hotel, established 1965, last renovated in 2008. Current occupancy rate 62%, down 15% from last year. Revenue per available room dropping steadily for the past 3 quarters. She looks up at their shocked faces. "Would you say that's accurate?" Patricia's perfectly lined lips part in surprise. "How did you? Those numbers are confidential? You really should update your security protocols," Jessica continues, snapping another photo of the lobby. "The guest Wi-Fi network is practically unsecured. Anyone could access sensitive information." Richard's face turns red. "That's it. I'm calling the police." He pulls out his phone, fingers hovering over the keypad. Jessica continues her walk through the lobby, photographing the outdated bar area and the dusty artificial plants. Behind her, she can hear Patricia and Richard following, their whispered conversation carrying in the marbled space. "She must be casing the place," Patricia hisses. "Already called for backup," Richard responds. "Officers will be here in 5 minutes." Thomas Wright finally descends the stairs, his expensive suit a stark contrast to his worn face. He approaches Jessica with the same condescending smile she's seen hundreds of times before. "Is there a problem here?" "No problem at all," Jessica replies, knowing the real drama is about to unfold. "I'm just getting a feel for my new property. Though I must say, the customer service leaves much to be desired." The first part of her sentence doesn't register immediately, but when it does, Thomas's patronizing smile freezes on his face. Behind him, Patricia drops her tablet, the sound echoing through the suddenly silent lobby. Jessica checks her watch, right on time. The glass doors swing open, and her executive team walks in, led by her lawyers. It's time for part 2 of her plan, and she can already tell it's going to be a very interesting afternoon at the Grand Marina Hotel. The click of expensive shoes against marble signals the arrival of Jessica's executive team, but she holds up her hand, stopping them at the entrance. This is her moment, one she's orchestrated perfectly. "I've seen enough," Jessica announces, her voice carrying across the lobby. "And frankly, I'm disappointed." She turns to face Richard, Patricia, and Thomas, who remain frozen in their spots. "Though I suppose I should thank you. You've just made my job much easier." Richard's face contorts with confusion, his hands still gripping his phone. "Ma'am, I don't know what kind of scam you're trying to pull." "Scam?" Jessica laughs, the sound echoing off the coffered ceilings. "That's rich, coming from a security chief who spends more time profiling guests than actually securing the property. Tell me, Mr. Thompson, do you follow all guests taking photos, or just the black ones?" Patricia steps forward, her perfectly maintained composure cracking. "Now see here." "No, Ms. Waters, you see here." Jessica's tone turns steel cold. "In the past hour, I've counted 17 white guests taking photos in this lobby. Not one was approached. Not one was threatened. Not one was followed." She pulls out her phone, playing back a recording. Patricia's earlier whispered comments about certain individuals fill the now silent space. Thomas Wright's face turns ashen. "There must be some mistake. We have protocols." "Yes, let's talk about those protocols." Jessica begins pacing, her casual outfit now carrying an air of authority that makes the staff shift uncomfortably. "Your security protocols are outdated, your customer service is selective at best and discriminatory at worst, and your occupancy rates are plummeting. Would you like to know why?" She gestures to the lobby around them. "It's not just because of the water damage on the ceiling or the worn carpets. It's because of this." She points to each of them in turn. "It's because of casual discrimination masked as security concerns. It's because of whispered comments and unfounded suspicions. It's because you've created an environment where only certain people feel welcome." Richard's face turns red. "You have no right." "I have every right," Jessica interrupts, her voice sharp. "As of last week, I own this hotel. Every brick, every carpet, every overpriced cocktail in that outdated bar." She nods to her executive team, who begin approaching with folders in hand. "Would you like to see the paperwork?" Patricia's knees buckle, and she has to grab a nearby chair for support. "Who? You're the new owner?" Jessica Reynolds, CEO of Reynolds Hospitality Group. She turns to Thomas. "I believe you received a memo about the ownership change last week. Did you even bother to look at my photo, or did you dismiss it as soon as you saw my name?" Thomas stammers, his earlier condescension evaporating. I thought there must be some mistake. The Reynolds Group. I assumed." "You assumed what, Mr. Wright? That a black woman couldn't possibly own a successful hotel chain? That I must be here to steal something? Please enlighten me." The lobby has become a theater, with other guests and staff watching the scene unfold. Jessica's executive team stands ready, documentation in hand, as she continues her measured dissection of the hotel's failings. "In the past hour, I've witnessed textbook examples of racial profiling, discriminatory treatment, and hostile customer service. My legal team, she gestures to the suited individuals behind her, has documented everything. The recordings, the witness statements, the pattern of behavior, it's all here. Richard finally finds his voice. You were testing us. You set us up. No, Mr. Thompson. I gave you an opportunity to treat every guest with respect and dignity. You failed. Spectacularly. Jessica turns to her team. Ms. Rodriguez, please distribute the termination papers. Patricia's face crumples. Termination? You can't. I can and I am. Effective immediately. Jessica's voice remains steady, but her eyes flash with controlled anger. Your positions will be filled by professionals who understand that luxury hospitality means luxury for everyone, not just those who fit your predetermined profile. Thomas steps forward, his hands raised in supplication. Ms. Reynolds, please. We can explain. We can do better. We can implement new training. The time for training was before you allowed this culture of discrimination to flourish. Jessica checks her watch. You have exactly 1 hour to clear out your offices. Security, my security team, will escort you. As if on cue, a new security detail enters the lobby, their uniforms crisp and professional. The contrast between their diverse team and Richard's all-white security staff is striking. But before you go, Jessica adds, I want you to understand something. This isn't just about today. This isn't just about me. This is about every guest who's ever walked through those doors and felt less than welcome because of their skin color, their appearance, or their background. This is about every employee who's been passed over for promotion because they didn't fit your image of success. She walks over to the front desk, running her finger along its polished surface. The Grand Marina is about to undergo a transformation, but not just in its fixtures and furnishings. We're going to transform its culture, its reputation, and its legacy. And we're going to start by showing you exactly what you should have shown me, the door. The new security team moves forward, ready to escort the terminated employees out. Patricia begins to cry, mascara running down her cheeks. Richard's face is a mask of barely contained rage. Thomas seems to have aged 10 years in the past few minutes. Jessica turns to address the gathered crowd of guests and remaining staff. I apologize for this disruption, everyone. Please see the front desk for a complimentary drink voucher, and know that the Grand Marina is about to become truly grand, for everyone. As the former employees are escorted out, Jessica's executive team begins to move into position, ready to implement the changes she's planned for months. The transformation of the Grand Marina is about to begin, and it's going to be more dramatic than anyone could have imagined. 6 months later, the Grand Marina Hotel stands transformed, its exterior gleaming under the Miami sun. But the real changes run much deeper than the fresh paint and modern fixtures. Andrea Martinez, the new 38-year-old general manager, stands in the lobby where the confrontation took place half a year ago. She smooths down her tailored suit, watching the diverse stream of guests and staff moving efficiently through the space. The worn carpet has been replaced with elegant marble, the water stains are gone, and the energy is completely different, vibrant, welcoming, alive. Ms. Reynolds, Andrea calls out as Jessica walks through the front doors, no longer in casual clothes but in a sharp business suit. The numbers for this quarter are in. Jessica smiles, remembering how Andrea had been repeatedly passed over for promotion by Thomas Wright despite her impressive hospitality management degree and 15 years of experience. Let's hear it. Occupancy rates are at 94%, Andrea reports, her eyes shining. Revenue per room is up 40% from last year. And our guest satisfaction scores? She pauses for effect. Highest in the city. They walk together through the lobby, passing the wall where Jessica has installed a large sign reading, "Everyone's welcome at the Grand Marina." It's not just a slogan, it's a promise that's transformed the hotel's reputation. Have you heard about Patricia Waters? Andrea asks as they head toward the renovated bar area. Jessica raises an eyebrow. Our former front desk manager? She's been trying to get hired at other luxury hotels in Miami. No one will touch her. Apparently, discriminating against the owner of the city's most successful hotel isn't great for one's resume. They pass the new security team, led by James Foster, a 45-year-old former military officer who's implemented state-of-the-art security protocols that protect all guests equally. He nods respectfully as they pass. "And Richard Thompson?" Jessica asks. "Last I heard, he's working retail security at the mall," Andrea replies. Quite a fall from head of security at a luxury hotel. They reach the hotel's new restaurant, where the lunch rush is in full swing. The dining room is filled with a diverse mix of guests, families, business travelers, tourists, people of all backgrounds enjoying the hotel's renowned hospitality. Thomas Wright tried to reach out last week, Andrea mentions, watching Jessica's reaction. He wanted to apologize, said he's been doing reflection work on his biases. He's hoping for a recommendation for a new position. Jessica shakes her head. Some lessons come too late. She pauses, watching a black family being seated at the best table by the window, the same table Thomas used to reserve exclusively for his preferred guests. But at least the lesson was learned. They enter Jessica's office, where the wall is covered with framed reviews and articles. "Miami's most inclusive luxury hotel," reads one headline. "The Grand Marina, where hospitality knows no boundaries," declares another. "There's something else," Andrea says, pulling out her tablet. "Remember those guests who witnessed the confrontation 6 months ago? The video they took went viral last week." Jessica brings up the video on her computer. The clip shows her calmly dismantling the discriminatory practices while standing up to Richard, Patricia, and Thomas. The comments section is filled with praise for her handling of the situation and support for the hotel's transformation. 5 million views, Andrea notes. And bookings have spiked another 15% since it went viral. Jessica leans back in her chair, satisfied. You know what the best part is? Every time someone shares that video, another hotel owner watches it. Another manager rethinks their policies. Another establishment realizes that discrimination isn't just morally wrong, it's bad for business. She stands and walks to the window, looking out over the Miami skyline. The Grand Marina's reflection shimmers in the surrounding buildings, a beacon of change in the hospitality industry. The hotel's not just making more money, Jessica observes. We're making a difference. Every guest who walks through those doors knows they'll be treated with respect. Every employee knows they'll be judged by their performance, not their appearance. That's worth more than any profit margin. Andrea joins her at the window. Speaking of profit margins, you'll never guess who just tried to book the presidential suite for next week. She hands Jessica her tablet with a familiar name highlighted. Jessica laughs. Patricia Waters? Trying to book a room here? Should I approve the reservation? Andrea asks with a slight smirk. Jessica considers for a moment, then smiles. Yes, approve it. And make sure she gets our very best service. After all, she gestures to the sign visible in the lobby below. Everyone's welcome at the Grand Marina. The Miami sun sets behind them, casting a golden glow across the hotel. In the lobby, guests continue to stream in, each one greeted with the same warm welcome regardless of their appearance or background. The Grand Marina stands as a testament to change, proof that sometimes the best revenge isn't just success, but using that success to create the change you want to see in the world. As Jessica and Andrea head out for their daily property walkthrough, a young black girl in the lobby points at Jessica and whispers to her mother, "That's her, Mom. That's the lady from the video." Jessica waves at the girl, remembering why she bought this hotel in the first place. It wasn't just about owning another property, it was about showing that little girl and countless others like her that they belong anywhere they want to be. The Grand Marina Hotel isn't just a place to stay anymore, it's become a symbol of transformation, a reminder that karma has a way of working things out, and sometimes the best way to fight discrimination is to own the whole damn building.